Hello everyone, this is Gowthami. Welcome to my YouTube channel, GowthamiTechSkills. In this Python series, we are going to learn one more interesting concept. Let's begin. Today's concept is control structures. Our concept today is control structures. So basically, Python program runs in a sequential manner. That means a line-by-line execution. We can also control our program based on different categories. Like using the conditions, we can control our program. That concept we'll call it as conditional statements. We can also control based on the iterations. So that concept we will call it as iterative statements. We can also stop, we can also skip, we can also return null values. So that is done with the help of jump statements. So I said that our program runs in a sequential manner. That is by default it will happens. That we'll call it as sequential statements. That means the line by line execution. For suppose if I'm writing print of hello in first line, later I'm assigning two values. Let us do like this. X is equal to 10, y is equal to 20, add is equal to x plus y, then print of add variable. So now what happens? Our code will run a line by line. No controlling. So it will execute the program in the order. That kind of thing we'll call it as a sequential statement, which will run as a default. Now we can control our programs based on these three concepts. Let's work on these conditional statements, where we can control our program based on the condition. Where the condition is getting true, only that block will get executed. Okay, so in this conditional statements, we are having some keywords like if, elif, and else. So with the help of these three keywords, we can control our program. Okay, let's begin explaining more about it. The if keyword. Usually, whenever we are writing the conditions, nothing but comparing the variables or values. Let us take an example. X is equal to 20, y is equal to 10. I just want to compare these two variables. How can we compare? Using the relational operators. So how many types of relational operators we have seen in the previous sessions? Like equal to, not equal to, less than symbol, greater than symbol, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So with the help of these operators, we can compare the variables. So let us generate one relationship with the help of these operators. Let us take like this, x not equal to y. If I keep this condition inside the print function, so the output will be like what? I am giving 20 not equal to 10. Yes, you are saying that 20 is not same as 10. That means your comparison is correct. That's why what it will return for us? It will return for us as a true value. What it will return for us as? It's a true value it will return for us. Okay, so it's going to return output as what? True value. The comparison is correct for us. 20 is not same as 10. That means your comparison is correct. So it returns output as true. Instead of getting the Boolean value, so we can get the statements for those conditions. That means this is the condition, right? The comparison between the variables, we can call it like a condition. I want to get the statement for this condition instead of the Boolean value. Then I can make use of a concept called a conditional statements. So where the conditional statements having keywords like what? If, elif, and else. Correct? So the if I can say it like a true block. For suppose if I have given this condition with the help of this keyword like this. If x not equal to y, Remember, whenever you are writing the condition, you can make keep inside the brackets or without brackets. But it should end it with colon symbols. It should end with what? Colon symbols. So this colon symbol, we'll call it as indentation. This will represent the block of code. Usually in other programming language, we will make use of the curly brackets, which means this block of code is representing for the code. But in the Python, we will make use of this colon symbol, which is an indentation. Once you hit the enter button, by default, it will maintain 4 spaces. That is nothing but one tab space. So until where you maintain the 4 spaces, those lines and all belongs to this code. Once you came back to this parallel line, then you are ending the block of code for this condition. Okay, so once this condition is becoming true, you will come inside and what and all you have written inside this, thus that code will get executed as an output for us. For suppose what I'm writing, I'm just writing print of comparison is true. That like this I'm writing, comparison is correct. I have written like this. So instead of getting the Boolean value, now what is the value I will get here is this output will come for us. What is the output? Comparison is correct. When your condition is 100% giving a single output, that means true, then you can only use if keyword. Maybe the chances is 50-50%. Like maybe becomes true, maybe becomes false. We don't know exactly what value it will return. That time, if you give only the if block, then if it is returning true, then it will come inside, will print it. If it is returning false, then the output will be nothing. So you need to give the output for the false block also. Then else block comes into the picture. Else. For the else keyword, we will not write any condition. Once this condition is getting false, the remaining comparisons and all comes under this else block only. And I can write some statement here is the comparison is wrong. What I can say? Comparison is wrong. So for suppose if I have given the condition like this, for example, what is the condition I have given now here is, if I have written x equal to y, I don't know whether this condition is true or false. Okay. So then what you should do, if this condition is getting true, then you will come inside and you will print only this statement. Then this will not get executed. That is what, right, we said. Conditional statements will execute based on the true condition. So if this condition is getting true, it will come inside and it will print only this code, this statement. Actually, this is false now. Why? Because we are using the values for x is what? We are using the values for x is what? We are using the values for x is, what is the values we are using for x here? 20. 20 equal to 10. Is this correct? These two values are similar. You had used equal to symbol. That means the condition is false. So if the condition is getting false, it will not go inside. It will go, it comes to the false block, that is else block, and it will return output as this one comparison is wrong instead of false Boolean value. If you are writing this conditions using the print, it returns the Boolean values. If you are making use of the conditional statements, it will return the statements based on the condition what you have written inside it. Hope you are clear with this. And one more thing, I would just want to clear it here. When you will use only if keyword means if your condition is 100% true, then make use of if only. Okay. And when you will use else, 50-50 chances. So remember, when you are using the else, there should be definitely an if block. Compulsory. If you are using else, if should be compulsory. If you are using if, it's not compulsory to use else. Okay, so this represents a false block. When this condition is getting false, then what is the statement you have written inside this? That statement will get executed. That means if you are having only one condition, make use of only if keyword. If you are having two conditions, that means the condition you have written here, if that is false, then it will come inside this. Means you are comparing like a two conditions. And when elif comes into the picture means if you are having more than two conditions, then you can make use of a elif. For example, what I want to explain about this elif here is, for suppose I'm having a number n is equal to 10. So I just want to tell what kind of an integer it is. Is it a positive integer or it is a negative integer? I just want to know. Then what we will do? We will write the conditions. So if it is a number line, what I can say, the neutral value is 0. So what and all will come on the right side? Those are all I'll call it as a positive values. What and all will come on the left side? I'll call it as a negative values. Is it right? Exactly, correct. So what and all positive values you have here on the right side? Those and all I call it as positive, left side, negative values. So if I say n equal to 0, that is a neutral value. I cannot say it's a positive or negative. It is a neutral value. What and all comes on the right side, I can give condition as n greater than 0. What and all comes on the left side, I can say n less than 0. So with the help of these conditions, I can decide whether the number is a positive value or a negative value, like integers. So see here, what I can write the condition. So by seeing here, I can say there are two conditions. First condition is this, second condition is this. You can give any condition in the if block. Okay, see here, if what I will write here, if n is less than 0, what I can say, n is less than 0 means the values are lying on the left side. That means I want to declare it as a negative integer. Other than this, what I can say, you don't need to write the condition. You can simply write else. What and all other than this condition, every condition will lies in this else block. I can say it is a positive. Okay, it's well and good. So now see what I can elaborate. What I can explain here is, if n is equal to 0, so if n is equal to 10, you will check this condition. 10 less than 0. Is this condition true? Obviously wrong. So then you will come to the else block. Okay. Then you can print it as it's a positive value. Yes. It's correct. It is executing correctly only. First, suppose if I change my n value to minus 20. You just compare it now. Minus 20 is less than 0. Yes, this condition is true. Then what it will do? It will come inside and it will print output for us as a negative. And this block will not get executed. Where the condition is getting true, only that block will get executed. That means you are controlling your program based on the conditions. Basically, the code will run in a sequential manner. But whenever you are writing the conditions, the code will get executed based on the true condition only. Okay, so now here the condition is getting true. So it will come inside, it will print this statement. So this is also correct. And the one more thing what I want to do here is, if I am giving n value as a 0, now tell me 0 is less than 0. Is this condition correct? Obviously not. And it will come into the else block and it will print the output as positive. Is this output correct? Obviously wrong. What I said, the n value is a 0 is nothing but it is a neutral value. That means you need to make a one more condition, that is n equal to 0. Here we are having three conditions, which means more than two conditions. Then what you need to do? You need to introduce else if. You need to introduce a elif in between the if and else. That means how your code will be now like this. If you are writing n less than 0, if this condition is getting true, you will print it output as n is less than 0 means what you will print? You will print it as a negative value. Elif. Here, what is this elif means? This is also one type of true block only. If this condition is not getting true, you are checking a one more condition what you are writing in the elif. Then if it is n equal to 0, you can say it is a neutral value. If both conditions are getting false, what I'm saying, if both conditions are getting false, that time it will come to the else block and it will say other output, that is a positive. So what I can say here is, finally, You have mentioned n less than 0 and n equal to 0. And else block will catch the remaining operators like n greater than 0, n not equal to 0, n less than or equal to 0, n greater than or equal to 0. All these comparisons comes under this else block. Okay, so this is how we can make use of these if, elif, and else. And if for suppose, ma'am, if you are having more than two conditions, you are saying elif will comes into the picture. For suppose, if I am having 10 conditions, then how can I make it? Very simple. You'll write the first condition in the if block and remaining 9 conditions using 9 elifs. Every condition you will write it like this. And if all these 10 conditions are getting false, that time it will come into the else block and it will print that statement. If any of this condition is getting true in these 10 conditions, only where it is getting true, only that block will get executed. Okay, so there is no restrictions that you should write only in this many times only. So you can write any number of times between if and else this elif. Okay, so this is all about conditional statements. Now we'll do practicals. Let's have an example. X is equal to 20, y is equal to 10. What I'm saying? X is equal to 20, y equal to 10. I just want to develop a relationship between the two variables. How can I do? If I'm writing the comparison between the two variables using the print function, x not equal to y. So what is this one? What it will tell? 20 not equal to 10. So yes, this is obviously correct. So it will return output as true for us. What is the output it is returning? True. So instead of getting the Boolean values, I need to get the statements. Then what I can say? You can make use of the conditional statement, that is if keyword. So see here, if x not equal to y. So what I am using for representing the block of code, you should use the indentation symbol. So this colon symbol, I can say it as indentation. Okay. Now, once you hit the enter button, you see by default, it is maintaining the one tab space, means 4 spaces. Until you click the backspace, it will be maintaining the 4 spaces. Okay. So now what I need to print here is, I can say the comparison is correct. What I can say? The comparison is correct. So now once I run, you will get the output as, instead of getting the Boolean value, I'm getting output as this statement. What you have provided for this condition, that statement I will get it. If this condition is 100% true, then you will make use of only this keyword. For suppose, if my comparison is wrong, maybe true, maybe false, 50-50 chances. Then if you see here, if I'm writing like this, if x equal to y, if this condition is getting true, that time it will come inside and it will print output as comparison is correct. But you check here, what is the comparison you have given? 20 equal to, is this condition correct? Is condition correct? No, this comparison is false. When the condition is false, it will not go inside. It will not go. And also, we didn't write any else block there. That means we didn't write any false block. So that time, when we run this cell also, we will not see any output. Let's run this cell. See, we will not see any output because this condition is false. So that's why it is not going inside, it is not printing this one. So if you want to get the false block statement also, then we should provide, see here it is maintaining the 4 spaces. Once you hit the backspace only, it will come to the normal place. So now you should give a keyword called else. Then inside this, you can write the statement as comparison is not correct. So see here, the statements are in our hands. Okay. You have to give the statements based on your conditions. Okay. So now see this condition is false, right? This condition is false. So then this block will not get executed. It will come to this block, and what is the statement you have provided here? That block out statement will get executed. Means only one condition, use only if, which is a true block. If you have two conditions, if it is getting true, if block will get executed, that is true block. If this condition is wrong, then it will come to the false block, that is else block. This statement will get executed. That means you are controlling your program. You are not printing all the statements, what and all you have written in the print function. Where the condition is getting correct, only that block is getting executed. If you are having more than two conditions, then we will make use of one more keyword called elif in between if and else. So let us take a simple example. I want to check whether the given number is positive number, okay, or negative number, or neutral number. So I have explained. Okay, now we'll see in practical. So I don't want to change the value, okay, once I assign. So what I need to do, I want to give the n value dynamically. So what we can make use of for giving the dynamic values, we can make use of the input function. So input function will read only the integer values. So that's why what I have done here is I just typecasted into the integer. So that whenever you are running this cell, you have to give the value for this n. Okay. So what is the value it has stored? Whether it is integer, that integer is positive or negative or float value or neutral value. We need to check it. So we discussed already the conditions. If n greater than 0, you can write the conditions however you like. Based on the condition, you should write the statement. If the n value is greater than 0, I can say that value is, that number is an integer. What type of integer? Positive integer. If this condition is not true, we can make use of another condition. Okay, that is n equal to 0. If this condition is getting true, then that condition statement, I can give it here as a neutral value. When this condition means when the n value is 0, then this condition will get satisfied. Then it will come inside, will return output as a neutral integer. And else block, in this else block, I can say if these both conditions are false, automatically it should give some false value. So that means the false block statement. So it will return for us as, okay, negative value or negative integer. Now run the program. If I run the program, it is asking you to enter the number. If I have given 34, first it will check it here. What it will check is 34 greater than 0. Obviously it is true. That means this condition is getting true. So it will come inside and it will print this statement. Once any of the block, one of the condition is getting true, only that block will get executed and will come out of the program. It will not check the remaining conditions. Remember. So now once I give the value, I will hit the enter button. Now it is giving the output as a positive integer. Again, I will run my cell and I am trying to give a negative value, that is 8. So here it will check it as -8 is greater than 0. Is this correct? Obviously it is wrong. So then it will check one more condition which you have written in the elif. So check it here. So -8 equal to 0. Is it correct? This is also false. So what and all conditions you have given, those all conditions are false. So then it should go to the false block and it will return output for us as a negative integer. For suppose again I am running and I am giving the value as 0. Now it will check the first condition as 0 equal to 0. Sorry, 0 is greater than 0. Is this condition correct? No, false. So then it will check some other condition. Now here it will check 0 equal to 0. Yes, this condition is getting true. That means it will come inside and it will print only this statement. So in our application, in our code, in our program, we have written 3 print functions. In these 3 print functions, we are getting only the one print function statement. what statement it is getting? Where the condition is getting true, only that block statement is getting. That means you are controlling your program where the condition is getting true. Okay, so this is what about a conditional statements. So usually what it is doing here is, I'll just copy this. You are just writing your code. Okay, for example, I am writing, welcome to Gowthami Tech Skills. Okay, Gowthami Tech Skills YouTube channel. So this is my statement. After writing this statement, I am writing some blocks of code. This code I have written. Okay, I have written this code. Later, I'm writing some, so I just want to come out of the normal flow of the program. So print off, so easy coding from GowthamiTechSkills. So I'm writing this statement. Okay, so now see here, actually our program will run line by line. Okay, so this is the normal flow. In between the normal flow, you have written some blocks of codes. So what code it will get executed means the code, the condition, what it is getting true. Okay, first this line will get executed, this will get printed. Later, it will ask the value, the user to enter the value. So you will enter the value and it will check this condition. This condition is wrong means it will check once again one more condition. If this is also wrong means directly it will come here and this will get executed. From this three, it will give any one output. Once it has given, it will come to the normal flow of the program. So now see here, I'm running my program. So the first line is getting executed. Now I'm giving the value as a 0. So it will check this one. This is wrong. And it will check one more condition. This will getting true. So this will be printed and it will come to the normal flow of the program here and this will get executed like this. Okay. So this is all about conditional statements from control structures. Kindly go through all these concepts. If you have any doubts, comment below. Who are not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the like button and share. Hope you thoroughly understand my concepts. We'll meet in the next video with a new concept. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.